So this week I've watched 9 films, which is equaling my record from week 1. On the 5th, the Monday of this week, the 5th of May, I watched 12 Angry Men. This film, I love it. I love this film so much. It's definitely going to be up there as one of my favourites now. Maybe in my top 4. I do rate it so highly. I really do. I think the way it's just shot in like one room, but it keeps you engaged the whole time. I was angry, I was sad, I was crying, I was all of these things, and that is a sign of a great film that keeps you engaged and emotionally invested, and I felt like I was in that room. For that reason, it is one of my favourite films of all time that I've ever watched. The next day I watched Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I love this film. I've been wanting to watch it for a while. I've seen it on TikTok. It was a great film. I love this exploration of memory and what goes on in the mind. On Wednesday I watched Breakfast at Tiffany's. It's Breakfast at Tiffany's. It's the third Audrey Hepburn movie that I've watched in this process. It was fun. The fashion was incredible. Like, she's just a complete fashion icon in this. I watched Apocalypse Now. This was a good film. However, it's the only film I've rated 4 stars. The rest have been 5 stars. And I think the main reason is because it was long. I am a Gen Z audience. I am not used to watching over 3.5 hour movies. So the next day, before I watched Apocalypse Now, I skipped it. I watched 2001: A Space Odyssey. Another incredible film, very well ranked. I did enjoy this a lot. It was fun. It was long. I'm not really a sci-fi fan, so that kind of did turn me off. Call Me By Your Name is one of those films that everyone's saying is going to be a classic in the future, along with like Lady Bird. I definitely agree. It was a great watch. I've been wanting to watch it for a long time. Again, yeah, it was very real. I felt attached to these characters, and yeah, I saw my own personal experience in this. So yeah, it was a nice film. And The Killers was another kind of black and white film. It's from 1946. It was just a noir. It was that type of film. It's got 100% rating on IMDb, and I just found it like a DVD source, so I was like, I have to watch this. It was good. It was, yeah, I wouldn't say it's like one of my favourite films, but it was a nice kind of thriller to watch. Moving on to my last film of the week, which was Memento. I really enjoyed this film. It's another Christopher Nolan film. It's another kind of like memory film. It was trippy. It was confusing. I loved the fact that it was like going backwards. It was like going back in time, and you were like learning things backwards, and it just kept us as an audience on the same level as the main character, which was, it was trippy. It was trippy. At first I was like, I have no idea what's going on. I feel like I've got memory loss myself. But eventually, as I understood that it was going backwards, and each scene kind of led into another, but in a backward way. Yeah, it was a very interesting film, and I love anything that's kind of unique and innovative, and that is what it was. So I definitely rated that 5 stars. Going to the cinema is a massive part of being a film fan, but it's also a big part of my childhood and my existence. I go to the cinema quite regularly. Not like a lot of film buffs will go to the cinema for every single new release, especially leading up to like award season. So I definitely needed to go to the cinema during this process, and I did, to watch one of the greatest films of 2025 so far. We don't know what the year is going to hold, but this has been really well rated and loved by the audience since it was released, and I really wanted to watch it because it piqued my interest. So I went to the cinema to watch Sinners. Now, this is just a complete masterpiece. I was scared a lot of the time. It was creepy, it was scary, but also I had full-on goosebumps when he sang. Yeah, it was just everything about it. The cinematography, the way it was so beautifully shot, and the costumes were cool. And especially the sound. It's a very sound-based film, and if you go and watch it in the cinema, you will feel the sound of the singing, but also the sounds that go along with it. And it's so creepy. It is so creepy, but it's so well acted. Also, it has such a meaningful message behind it. I love this week. I watched some incredible films. It was very enjoyable, and I got back into the rhythm of watching films, but also I got into analysing films more and theorising them and just watching them from like a very kind of analytic perspective, but also just watching them as an audience member and in a cinema, as you should, as the film was designed to be watched in a cinema. So I like that I got to do that this week. That has been week 3, and I'm moving on to our final week and our final about 10 days, I think. We have got to a total of, I think, 24 films at the end of week 3, which is pretty good.